This is a document that everyone's been looking for, but only Judicial Watch was able to get. And it makes you wonder what else is out there. I mean, Judicial Watch can only do so much. What else are they hiding? We did get the Justice Department, thankfully, and credit to them for following the law here finally after years, to declassify a key document that many had been seeking. Devin Nunes had been seeking this classification. The president had authorized its declassification years ago, but the Justice Department stalled on doing so. The IG referenced the document, and it's called the electronic communication. And it's the document that was used to open Crossfire Hurricane, the counterintelligence investigation into the Trump campaign's alleged collusion with the Russians. Now, I think this is kind of a baloney document in the sense that they were probably spying on Trump beforehand, but this is the official opening of the investigation. And of course, it was written by Peter Strzok, who is the corrupt FBI official who hated Trump and loved Hillary Clinton. And we have the text messages showing that it was a group effort. And I see one of my kids in the corner here. We can see you. And so it was a group effort by the FBI in terms of concocting this document. And parts of it were quoted in the Inspector General's report on the FISA abuse, but we still didn't have the whole document. And so what Judicial Watch did was that we asked for the entire document from both the FBI and the Justice Department. We just asked for the one document. Turns out it's a 2-page document, not even 2 pages. And it is a details seemingly third-hand information that the Russian government, quote, had been seeking prominent members of the Donald Trump campaign in which to engage to prepare for potential post-election relations should Trump be elected president. Well, why is that an issue? Why would that be an issue? Trump was the presumptive nominee for the Republican Party, and the Russian government was interested in talking to people on Trump's team about what the new Trump administration might do in terms of policy. How is that illegal? It's not illegal. It's pretextual in terms of being used as a reason or an excuse to spy on Trump. The document also alleges Trump campaign advisor George Papadopoulos claimed to an unnamed party, kind of have information who that unnamed party likely is, that they, the Russians, could assist the Trump campaign with the anonymous release of information during the campaign that would be damaging to Hillary Clinton. The document notes it was unclear whether Papadopoulos, or the Russians were, being Papadopoulos or the Russians, were referring to material acquired publicly through other means. It was unclear how Mr. Trump's teams reacted to the offer. We note that Trump's team reaction could, in the end, have little bearing on what Russia decides to do with or without Mr. Trump's cooperation. Okay, I just read you the core reasons for opening up this investigation. Did you find any of them persuasive? They're absurd and not serious, and they show there was no good faith basis to open up an unprecedented spy operation against this administration, meaning Obama's administration's political opponent and the nominee for the opposing political party for president. As I say, no wonder the DOJ and FBI resisted the public release of this information. It shows there was no serious basis for the Obama administration to launch this unprecedented spy operation on the Trump campaign. We have no more proof that Crossfire Hurricane was a scam. It's a scam based on absurd gossip and innuendo. It's Exhibit A to Obamagate, really, isn't it? It's Exhibit A to Obamagate, the worst corruption scandal in American history. And it shows how, remember, Attorney General Barr and U.S. Attorney Durham suggested they disagreed with the IG's conclusion that they had a predicate to open up the investigation, you can see they didn't have any predicate that was legitimate. This is the basis for all the spying on Carter Page, the targeting of Flynn, the targeting of Manafort, and the spying on President Trump when he was candidate. And you can see they didn't have anything to stand on. And it ends with this drama based on the information provided by Legat, which is an official of the embassy. This investigation is being opened to determine whether individuals associated with the Trump campaign are witting of or coordinating activities with the government of Russia. They did it because they could, not because they needed to, but because they wanted to. They had this power, and they saw nothing that could stop them from abusing it. This document shows there was no good faith basis to seriously take any of this. And now we know that in the months after this investigation began, it became clear that this Papadopoulos angle was bunk. And they never found any evidence of any collusion. They knew initially there was never any evidence of collusion. They knew. In 2016, they knew, and then they were desperate. Remember, they started, Judicial Watch found how they were paying Christopher Steele, the FBI was. Yet the Obama administration using your tax dollars to pay Clinton's spy Steele, who was writing the dossier for information. It was a joint operation between the Clinton campaign, the Obama FBI, and who knows what else in terms of foreign intelligence operations. They met with Steele 11 times in 2016. We got the documents. Excuse me, they met with him 13 times and they paid him 11 of those times. Then they cut him off, and then they started working with Steele's business partner, associate wife, Nellie Orr's husband, Bruce Orr, in the Justice Department to talk to Steele. They were desperate to get Steele back in. Why were they desperate? Because the information they gave him, he gave them, the dossier, wasn't panning out. And as Mueller's about to be appointed, the text messages between Page and Strzok confirmed there's no there there. They said that. I fear there's nothing there. So you have to, you have to place this in context here, or place everything else that happened in context with this. They initiated this collusion charade, and they found nothing. General Flynn was targeted as a result of this document. He was targeted for spying. And on January 4th, I think, we got the document. It's out there. It's public now. They were forced to give it to Sidney Powell, Flynn's lawyer. They concluded there was no viable case against Flynn. And as I just told you, yet that within minutes, relatively speaking, you had Comey and Obama and Rice, Yates conspiring against Flynn, even though they know he did nothing wrong, to use law enforcement resources against him. Ultimately led to that ambush interview, in which, or during which, he didn't lie. He didn't lie. So this is the Holy Grail. This is the Holy Grail, this document. And Judicial Watch got it out. Not the Justice Department. It wasn't voluntarily released. It was released pursuant to a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit. I don't know if there was a court order for it. But it wasn't voluntarily released. And now we have more documents who weren't voluntarily released to Sidney Powell. She forced the Justice Department to turn them over because she insisted on it. This document, again, wasn't voluntarily given to Judicial Watch. It came out because we sued for it. And the key Flynn documents that just came out recently came out because Sidney Powell forced the Justice Department to turn them over. They were hiding them for years. And what does this cover up? Senior level misconduct at the top of the Obama administration targeting President Trump. And again, this is a document that everyone's been looking for, but only Judicial Watch was able to get. And it makes you wonder what else is out there. I mean, Judicial Watch can only do so much. What else are they hiding? Well, we kind of do know what else they're hiding. The FISA warrants still haven't been completely released. There's more information in them. There may be other FISA warrants. We asked, for instance, for a FISA warrant application filed against Flynn. I don't know if they were spying on Flynn through FISA. And the response we got was they couldn't confirm or deny that. Of course, the unmasking material is still largely secret, even though Rick Rennell released some of it. The text messages of Page and Strzok are still largely secret. They're refusing to release any of them under FOIA. Page Strzok emails are still secret. They're releasing them to us in dribs and drabs. They don't want to release them all to us until the middle, well, at this point, till they'll probably go into 2022. 2022. They're sitting on them. This FBI, this Justice Department is sitting on it. There are text messages with Andy McCabe they don't want to release. Unbelievable. We're fighting in court. We're fighting in court. We're the only ones doing it. I shouldn't say that. Maybe there are other people filing lawsuits, but as you know, we're the most prominent ones doing it. Much of what we know about Russiagate is because of Judicial Watch. I want to be clear on that. You know, all that IG report gave us additional information, but a lot of it was already out there. It shows you how corrupted the Justice Department and the FBI are institutionally, that it requires a little group like Judicial Watch to get this basic information out there through litigation. Through litigation. And when I say litigation, you know what that means? It means we've asked for a document or documents that we have a right to under federal law, and the agency is refusing to turn it over to us. And in many cases, the agency that's refusing to follow the law is the Justice Department. Who's responsible for the law breaking at the Justice Department on a regular basis on transparency law? If a corporation regularly violated federal law, what would happen to that corporation? Be shut down, wouldn't it? We're happy to do the lawsuits, but it's outrageous. We got to sue the Justice Department to get the Justice Department and to get the FBI to follow the law. So every time you hear that we've had to file a FOIA lawsuit, you should be ticked off, because it means there's a government agency not following the law. And we only sue on probably 10% of the requests we make, because we make thousands of requests, thousands, almost all of which are ignored or just dragged along, which is the same. So there's that.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.